Hi, and thank you for joining me on another installment of the Friday Upgrade, where we make small incremental updates to your personal operating system. I'm Ben-Yosef, advisor and coach to tech executives, and this is a very special edition of the Friday Upgrade because my book, The Tech Executive Operating System, which all of these videos are based on, is now available on pre-order. And because of that, I want to talk about something that I cover in the book and is also relevant to your usage of the book. And that is accountability. How do we act on what we say we would do? How do we actually do stuff and improve? Because how often have you picked up a book only to later finish it, put it aside, and have nothing actually change from it? And I'm not talking about reading Harry Potter. I'm talking about reading business-related books. You should have a positive ROI on an investment that you make by putting in the time and the effort to read a book and understand it and contemplate it. And the same applies to everything else in your business. As a leader, you have to ensure that when you're doing stuff, you are accountable to making sure that there are positive results to doing that. Otherwise, why are we doing it, right? And for me personally, it's a pet peeve seeing people reading, going to these training sessions where nothing changes afterwards, having all of these conference talks, useless hackathons, and just a bunch of learning busy work that doesn't get anything. And I would hate it more than anything else in the world to have people like yourself reading the book and not actually implementing on what it tells you to do and helping your own situation and your team become better. And that is why the book comes with a set of tools to help you actually implement, actually do the things. Whenever I coach a tech executive and whenever I start a new engagement, I have my clients go through this 8 traits of good management and leadership, and they do this self-assessment. And one of them, of those traits, is accountability. Because without that, if your word means nothing, not to the CEO, but to your people and to yourself, we cannot even get started. That's like a prerequisite. And to work on the accountability muscle for you when you're reading the Tech Executive Operating System, first of all, every chapter ends with a very concise personal upgrade section. It's like one paragraph, and there's an actionable step that usually doesn't take more than 10-20 minutes that you can act on right now in order to start incorporating the message and the core principles of that chapter. You know, if I'm talking about how to restructure and reorg your entire organization, you're probably not going to do it the second you put down the book and finish reading that chapter. But I am making you think about specific questions and specific exercises to actually gain value immediately. So if you follow up on those, you immediately get value. And I promise you, you've already got a positive ROI from getting the book. But that's not it. We have more. Afterwards, with every purchase of the book, you're entitled to a free cheat sheet that has all the gist of the book. So I know we're all busy. There's no way you're gonna re-review the book every quarter. I'd love it if you would, but you're not gonna, right? And that is why I created this amazing cheat sheet, only a few pages long, and it has all the diagrams, the algorithms, the principles, and the main terms and principles. So you can open it up, quickly skim it, and see if you're thinking, how do I drive this change now? You can read that section. If you need to make a change to your org structure, you can read that section. You can see stuff about implementing innovation, about the core principles of leadership, about how to measure impact in your team, all sorts of stuff, and quickly see when you need, how to manage your time, how you should allocate your time, whatever. And then, by having this very, very brief cheat sheet, you can review it more regularly And if you find that there's a section that you need to work on, you can find it in the cheat sheet and immediately know where you need to go in the book. So you're getting that digital PDF for free. What if you want to take it a step further? What if you really want to become a tech executive, lean, mean machine that creates leverage and impact like no one else before you? To do that, I'm also providing now, during a brief period of the early bird period, if you get a few copies of the book, you're entitled to extra free editions. And that includes stuff like a video series about implementing the book, webinars with me, online workshops, and it goes all the way up to free coaching. So if you're thinking about making the most out of working on yourself and you want to grab opportunities for self-improvement and growth for rates, frankly, that I've never offered before, and I'm not going to keep that up for too long, it's really only for the early bird period, go to the link below, check out all the different add-ons and upgrades that I have, and do consider grabbing your copies early right now because, again, this is not going to stay here for too long. As I'm recording this, the Tech Executive Operating System is already available on paperback on Amazon and on pre-order for the Kindle version, and it's already #1 new release in several categories, so thank you everyone, and be sure to grab your copies before all the early bird benefits are out. Thank you, and I'll see you again next week.